Welcome to the stadium. Today we're doing something a little different. We're treating our language journey exactly like a match day experience. That's right, we are going to master English through the beautiful game of football. So let's lace up our boots and jump right in. Now, I've got a bit of a challenge for you today. Don't just sit back and watch the match, actually use it. Literally every single goal, every perfectly timed pass, and every roar from the crowd, it's a golden opportunity to level up your English skills. We're going to harness all that stadium energy to build your vocabulary and communication skills in a way that just sticks with you. Trust me, it's highly effective. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our tactical playbook for today. First, essential vocabulary and emotions. Second, personality skills from the pitch. Third, everyday English football idioms. And finally, the ultimate commentary challenge.
All right, kicking off the first half with Section 1, Essential Vocabulary and Emotions.
Now, what's really interesting about this first concept is the distinction here. When the ball hits the back of the net, we say he scored a goal. We do not say he made a goal. Now, I know the verb make translates really well in a lot of other languages, but in English, we draw a hard line here. We always score goals. We don't make them. Definitely keep that locked in your memory for sure. Okay, first up on the pitch, we have the striker. So the striker is the player who attacks and tries to score goals. They're basically the offensive powerhouse of the team, always hunting for that absolute perfect opportunity to strike the ball. So if you're chatting with a friend during a match, you might say something like, "The striker made a brilliant finish." Notice how we pair the noun striker with that descriptive phrase brilliant finish to describe a successful shot. It's just a perfect, natural-sounding phrase to drop right into your next conversation. But hey, a successful team isn't just about the attack, right? Let's talk about the defender. The defender is the player who protects the team from the opponent. Their entire job, their sole focus is to read the game, block passes, and absolutely shut down the attack before it ever reaches the goal. And how do all these players actually connect on the field? Well, through an assist. An assist is basically when one player helps another player score. It's the ultimate display of teamwork. You might hear someone yell, "Great pass! What an amazing assist!" to recognize the setup that made that goal possible. Now for one of the most high-stakes moments in the entire sport, the penalty. A penalty is a special free shot given after a serious foul. It's literally just the kicker standing face-to-face with the goalkeeper. The tension is crazy. In everyday conversation, you'd simply state, "The team got a penalty kick." And, football is a purely emotional experience, right? Think about the timeline of a match. At 0 minutes, right before kickoff, the feeling is usually pretty tense. You might think, I'm nervous, I hope my team wins." Fast forward to 45 minutes, you might be exclaiming, "What an amazing performance." Then, maybe at the 89th minute, there's a late breakthrough. What a stunning goal. And finally, at 90-plus minutes, the emotion totally peaks with, "We made history." Moving right along to Section 2, personality skills from the pitch. So, football is way more than just a game. And this brilliantly illustrates how football roles map directly onto vital real-world personality traits. Think about it. Being a captain, that teaches leadership, guiding your team through tough times. The striker teaches confidence, decisively taking those big opportunities. The defender totally embodies responsibility. And the overarching concept of teamwork inherently teaches us communication. It's all connected. All right, on to Section 3, everyday English football idioms. First up in our idioms playbook is the phrase kick off. Now, in football, it's quite literally the physical start of the match. But in everyday English, to kick off simply means to start something. So, for example, in a professional business meeting, you might hear a manager confidently say, "Let's kick off our new project." It brings that active, energetic sports feeling right into the workplace. Let's move on and see how this builds with the phrase game changer. This is someone or something that creates a massive difference. For instance, you could say, "Technology is a game changer. It revolutionized how we do things," exactly like a star player coming off the bench to totally flip the score of a match. Next up, we have on the ball. If you are on the ball, it means you're highly alert, active, and fully paying attention to the details. Imagine a skilled player closely controlling the football right at their feet. If you're describing a highly competent coworker or a super organized friend, you'd say, "She is always on the ball." It is a fantastic compliment to show you recognize their focus. To wrap up our idioms, let's look at level playing field. The core definition here is having an equal opportunity. In sports, obviously, you want a flat, fair pitch so neither team has some unfair advantage. Well, in normal English conversation, we emphasize this concept of fairness by stating everyone deserves a level playing field. Whether you're talking about education, business, whatever, it's a powerful phrase to advocate for equality. And finally, Section 4, the ultimate commentary challenge. All right, it is time to step onto the pitch. Here is your trivia question. The player who scores goals is called A, defender, B, striker, or C, goalkeeper. Think back to our vocabulary section for a second. Go ahead and lock in your guess. And the correct answer is striker. Yes, if you chose option B, you absolutely nailed it. The striker is our dedicated goal-scoring machine. Fantastic job actively applying what we just learned. Okay, now I want you to try speaking exactly like a professional commentator. I want you to say this out loud with maximum enthusiasm. Ready? Welcome to the stadium. The crowd is cheering. The player passes the ball. He shoots. It's a brilliant goal. Awesome delivery. Honestly, saying these phrases out loud is genuinely one of the best ways to practice your pronunciation. So the crucial point is that football gives us this incredible toolkit for mastering English vocabulary, expressing intense emotions, and using really dynamic idioms. So how will you use your new football English today? Are you going to be a game changer in your next office meeting? Will you stay on the ball with your studies? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep practicing, and I'll see you back on the pitch.